Hi.
Hello.
Do you watch like episodes? What do you call them? English episodes?
Series?
Hmm. Right.
Not so much. Like I haven't watched in a month or so.
Like
I,
English movies?
yeah, I mean I do watch them, but I don't watch them so often. Yeah,
Oh,
I,
okay,
I
got it.
try to minimize that.
That's good. That's good. That's nice. I was enjoying that, and I really didn't feel like coming and taking a group study. I guess this is the last day, so yeah, let's just do it.
So, what were you watching?
There's a very nice episode on Apple called Ted Lasso. It's a
Okay,
comedy.
okay.
It's really nice.
Right. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, many people haven't heard, but especially people abroad, they know about it, and it's like really popular. It's two
Oh, okay.
seasons. Yeah. Okay, let's start. Get started.
Oh, Ted Lasso. Oh, I know this.
You know this now. All of a sudden,
Okay.
good. Have you watched it?
No, but I want to. Yeah, I've
Just,
heard about it a
I'm
lot.
telling you, this is you. You will not be able to stop yourself once you watch the first episode. It's
Hmm.
so damn amazing. So much of fun. But anyways, let's continue with what we're doing. So just to recap the string and string buffer class, see what we remember from the previous one. So string buffer class uses heap memory. String class uses constant string constant pool, right?
Yes.
I guess we should just start from wherever we remember rather than thinking about what was the first point. That's the
Hmm.
best way. Gets connected. And then string buffer class actually is going to consume less memory. It's going to be faster, so need for speed. There for concatenation operations. And what else? What was the first point was mutable and immutable. So string buffer class is mutable and string class is immutable. Um, yeah, there was something to do with the equal sign also, I guess. Uh,
Override.
yeah, string class overrides equal sign and string buffer doesn't. So with string class, you can compare the contents of two strings by equal methods. Okay, moving on. We have a new guy, Farhan. Hi, Farhan. I think it's the first time you're joining in.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम brother.
Walaikum Salam.
खैरियत भाई.
Khairiyat, thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
Okay, let's continue. So, what is a package? So, a package is a collection of classes, a similar type of classes, subclasses, and interfaces. What was the third point in package? We'll check that in a moment. Explain with example how a user-defined package is created in Java. So there are two types of packages. One is the inbuilt packages in Java, and second is the user-defined packages. So the inbuilt packages are like we've seen some example like java.util.scanner. We saw some example with the file class, and that was java.io. Then we had, let's see what else we had. Java.io, java.util, java.lang. So thread is part of the lang. Yeah, so these are inbuilt packages in Java, these guys, and you can import them using import statement. Um, User defined packages, you can create your own package as well. For example, if I create this um, example, I can just write package over, oops,
ये पूछ रहा था मैं कि क्वेश्चन पेपर का सारा क्वेश्चन कर लिया क्या आप लोग?
for Java.
हम्म.
That's what we are doing. We're doing the question paper. So we've done with all of these, and now we're doing this question
अच्छा, you are in
on the
the
right.
third question, right? Fourth
Yes,
question.
we went from here on the left hand side. We did all of these questions. Now we're doing on the right hand side.
Oh,
So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 questions left.
okay.
Okay, so for user-defined package, you just use a keyword package, and then whatever you want to name this package as, let's say I want to name this package as example. So that becomes your package name. And packages are actually a way to encapsulate your similar types of classes, similar types of interfaces, subclasses, and then it really helps in avoiding the naming collisions. Like, for example, if you create a package over here inside docs and you create a class with a particular name, you can create another class with the same name into another package. So it will not collide. But if you can't do that in the same directory in the same package, so you can think of packages like directories of files. So how a user defined package is created. So as I explained, you create a class, then you give a keyword package and the name of the package. And to run it, there are a set of commands we need to use. Package. Yep, there you go. Yeah, interfaces for sure. A collection of similar types of classes, interfaces, and sub packages. They're like folder in a file directory. For example, when you're writing application program in Java language, there may be individual classes. You can place related classes into folder and give a name to this folder for organizing these classes. This folder will then be called a package. Packages are used to avoid naming conflicts, write better maintainable code. You can limit the access of class methods and variables throughout the packages by using access specifiers. So they might ask you the accessibility rules for packages. So uh, if a class, variable, or method has been declared as private, it can only be used within the class. It cannot be used outside unless you use getters and setters, and within the same package. If you declare something as protected, then you can only use it inside of the class, uh, inside of the same package, as well as through sub packages of the same class and outside of the class also. 1 second, check. Protected, yeah, any other package, yeah. So from the same package as well as from outside the package, but through the sub packages. So you have private, you have protected. Then if you don't declare any class or variable or method as, if you don't give any access modifier to them, they will by default have default accessibility. And if it's default, that means it can only be accessed within the same class in the same package, or the subclasses within the same package, but not outside. Okay, so we're done with protected, private, default, and public. Public means that it can be accessed within the package, outside the package, from the subclasses. Yeah, public means it's public, accessible everywhere. To moving on, creation of a package. Where is that? Here it is. Okay. So see this class, you can just define whatever class you want, package, and then in the package. So just remember this keyword Java Java C. Yeah, so maybe combine C and Java, the way to remember it. Java C. And then you put the name of the file, whatever you've created. In my case, it was example.java. In this case, it's called welcome.java. So put the keyword command Java C on the terminal and the name of the file with extension. This will create welcome.class file. In the next line on the right, which is this one, say java-d dot welcome.java. This is going to create a folder called first package because you gave that name as first package. If you would have named something else, it'll create a folder with that package name. Then java.firstpackage.welcome. This will generate the output of the program. So it's going to go to that package and then access the welcome uh, class, and it's going to basically run that. So it's going to run that main and output the program. So java welcome.java, java -d.welcome.java, and java first package. So let's just make a note of it. So you say java, name of the file, so welcome dot java. This will create a new file called welcome dot class. Was it class? Yeah, welcome dot class. Then java c -d dot welcome dot java. This is going to create a folder, package name as package name, whatever package name you give with an import statement. And then the last one is java c. What was that? Oh, just java. Okay, java welcome dot the class name. So in this example, package name dot class name. Sorry, package name dot class name. So in this case, welcome is the class name. So this is going to execute or output whatever you have written in the main function of welcome. Okay. So Java, create a new file, java -d dot. This will create a folder. The package name is package name, and this is going to output. So run the program basically. Okay. So Sumaya is also back. Sumaya, you're done with the dinner?
Yes.
Okay, good. So next one is JDBC. I don't like it, but yeah, let me try to remember what this is. So JDBC is Java database. What's C stand for?
Connectivity.
Connectivity. Yeah, connectivity. So I think this is used to basically get the database connection using get connection. And then it talks about explain the use of driver manager class. The job of driver manager class is to basically manage all the drivers and also track the drivers. So these are the 2 points that I remember. So may I tell me like what all you remember in what is JDBC first?
I don't remember much.
That's fine. Kritika, do you remember anything?
I remember that it was related to database management.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
see the go ahead.
Relational database management and object oriented database.
Okay,
Something
no
like that.
problem. So this is Java database connectivity. This is all to do with the connectivity, creating the connection. Because if you want to run query, you have to create a connection, and this basically helps you just do just that. Yeah. Uh, so there are two things here. There's JDBC and there's driver manager. Driver manager is to do with all of the managing of the drivers, tracking the drivers, managing the driver, also with the connectivity as well. So now we're going to look at them. And I guess I should mark this slide as dark blue because these commands, thanks for writing these commands, Sumaya. They look pretty good. Application, JDBC API, driver, SQL Server, Oracle, data source, JDBC driver. Yeah, somebody read it. I'm tired. Pick it
I'll
up and
go.
read. Yep.
Yeah.
And make us remember
JD.
it somehow. Take our session, make us remember this JDBC. It's haunting me since weeks now.
Okay, I remember this as like the database management system because we remember that very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of thought like it's sort of the same thing, but okay,
Anytime
I'll
you hear JDBC, C stands for connectivity. It's
okay.
all to do with the database connectivity. The main role, the main job is to provide connectivity. So you can connect to the database.
Yes.
Go
Okay.
on.
JDBC API is used to provide database connectivity
What speed
between.
are you at? Are you on 2.0?
No,
Chitti?
I'll repeat again.
Have you become Chitti 2.0?
Okay.
Okay.
It provides database connectivity, which is the word itself, between
Mm-hmm.
Java applications and various databases. So this is sort of a
Mm-hmm.
connection between our two subjects, Java and DBMS.
Yeah.
Is- Yes. See, it defines how to access relational database management system through standard interfaces and classes. Okay.
Yeah, so everything is connected to the connection. So if you can't connect, you won't be able to access the relational database management systems, right? So
Mm.
the job of this to provide you with a connection in the database, and it does that by its own interfaces and classes. So you will import those classes, you will use its method, like get connection or something, whatever those methods are, and then you will connect to the database. You will, when you see the program, it will be more clear to you. Go on.
Yes. JDBC API helps us to write Java applications that can access tabular data.
Okay.
Okay.
What did you just call this?
Tabular data.
Yeah, perfect.
No, I changed it. I first called tabular. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I heard something else, and my ears are really sharp. I scored 8.5 in IELTS listening, which is the International Language Efficiency Test, and I'm telling you,
Oh,
it's really really hard to get 8.5 out of 9.
I,
I mean, you
I
can't
scored
miss a single thing. It's like you have to get 8.5. You can't just miss anything. You get 8.5 when you do 39 questions right out of 40, and those questions like super fast in different languages, and if you give it, you'll know it. So yeah. Carry on.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I've given IELTS and I got a
Mhm.
9 in listening.
9 out of 9. So then you
Yes.
know it, right? You know it better
Yeah.
than me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Excellent.
Yeah.
What were your other scores? Other
Uh,
subjects.
I think I got the lowest in writing, which was 7.5.
Okay,
And
and you
in
call that
other,
bad? 7.5 is good, by the way.
no, it's fine, I guess. I mean, I don't know anybody else. I mean, none of my friends got 8, so I guess that's good.
Yeah,
Um, so and the other two I got 8 and 8.5.
that's pretty good actually. Pretty darn good. Yeah,
Yes.
excellent. Carry on.
IELTS is relatively easier than TOEFL. I've given TOEFL
You've done
also.
TOEFL also, really? Wow.
IELTS for Canada, TOEFL for US. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. Okay, I'll continue.
I
JDBC.
think there's a long conversation we can have maybe after
I
exams.
know,
Lots to talk
right?
about. Yeah.
I know.
You
Even
should be in Pune, you're in Bangalore.
I'll come back for practicals. I'm coming back for
Okay, then we'll
practicals.
meet at that time then. No problem.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, cool. Let's move on.
Okay. Um, JDBC API allows Java applications to access various types of databases like Oracle, MS Access, Sybase, MySQL, SQL Server, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it offers the platform independent interface between Java applications and RDBMS and allows the application to execute SQL statements. Okay, so first point is it provides database connectivity between Java and various databases. This is
Hmm.
clear because we have the two subjects. Then in DBMS we had relational database, and how is that gonna connect through standard interfaces and classes. And then
Mm-hmm.
RDBMS had tabular data,
Mm-hmm.
and so we use Java applications to write them. And
Yeah.
then so this is about DBMS. Now, what does Java do? Java API allows the access to databases, and then Oracle MS Access, we had this in DBMS. And then
Mm-hmm.
Java application and RDBMS, um, and they have an platform independent interface. Okay, that
Okay.
allows statements. Okay, it's
Yeah.
mostly about DBMS. The first is relational database. Relational database is in a tabular form. It is done via SQL, and
Mm-hmm.
um, and then there's an interface. Okay.
One more.
Various tasks are associated with database usage, such as establishing a connection, query creations, query executions, and viewing and modifying the resulting records.
Yeah.
Uh, JDBC provides two packages, java.sql and javax.sql.
So, Maya, if you remember, I asked you this question: what is the package for JDBC? And then I said that it was Java SQL and Java X.SQL. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, JDBC provides database connectivity for Java
मेरा
and
मेरा एक
sorry.
सवाल है यहाँ पे,
Yes.
ये JDBC API ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड रहता है या फिर इसे क्रिएट करना होता
API एक्चुअली ये सारी चीजें ना पैकेजेस, छोटे छोटे पैकेजेस बने हुए हैं, जैसे कि
है? अच्छा, ये
स्कैनर है,
पैकेजेस में इंक्लूडेड है।
हाँ, तो ये जो पैकेज नीचे बोला ना हमने S.SQL और डॉट, ये इंपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा, तब उसमें
ओके,
मेथड्स होंगे, उस मेथड से हम कनेक्शन, डेटाबेस कनेक्शन क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, गेट
मीन्स
कनेक्शन.
दैट दिस API ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड इन द पैकेज ना?
Yes,
ओके,
API has all the everything that you need. So JDBC provides the database connectivity between Java and other applications, and then it allows us to access the relational database management system. And there are different operations that can be performed as database, like uh, executing a query, creating a table, deleting a record, etc. And it provides an interface between what? Between Java and other applications.
And the tabular data.
Okay.
Tabular data.
And it provides access to different database management systems like Oracle, IBM DB2, MS, SQL, all of those things. Yeah, I think I remember that much. Kritika, what other points I missed?
Um, you missed through interfaces and classes. I
Yeah,
remember
tell
that.
me what's that?
Um, uh, you said RDBMS, but it is connected through interfaces and classes.
Okay, okay. Let's check
And
with. Go
yes,
on.
It is platform independent.
yes.
Okay, okay. That's good point. Cool.
And
Sumaya, go ahead.
Ashish is here. You can.
Let me add him. सब पूरा चार्ज अप होके सब आए हैं, लगता है रात भर जागने का इरादा है.
वही करना पड़ेगा, कोई रास्ता नहीं है.
कोई रास्ता
दो
नहीं
नाइट
पड़ा.
से मैं 2 नाइट से जाग रहा हूँ, अभी तीसरा नाइट हो जाएगा मेरा ये.
Oh my god. हो जाएगा, no worry. Okay.
सही
Sumaya,
बात है
just
भाई।
go through all of these points and just help us remember these. Yeah, read them.
Okay.
Okay.
JDBC.
I sent it to Sumaya.
What is JDBC? A JDBC API is used to provide database connectivity between Java applications and various databases. It defines how to access relational database (RDBMS) through standard interfaces and classes. JDBC API helps us to write Java applications that can access tabular data. JDBC API allows the Java application to access various types of databases like Oracle, MS Access, Sybase, MySQL, and SQL Server. It offers the platform-independent interface between the Java application and the RDBMS and allows the application to execute SQL statements. Various tasks are associated with database usage, such as establishing a connection, query creations, query executions, and viewing and modifying the resulting records.
Okay, tell us whatever you remember.
Java database connectivity API is used to establish a connection between a database and the Java application. So it enables the Java application to access tabular data, and it helps to access a relational database
Okay.
like MySQL, MS SQL.
IBM DB2, there was one more, right? Those are also RDBMS. Remember you told me once.
Yeah,
IBM DB2. I was stuck at IBM. You told me it's DB2 after that.
yeah, IBM DB2, and so we
Yeah.
can do various operations like
Mm-hmm.
creating a connection, executing queries,
Mm-hmm.
creating tables.
Okay. Okay.
Platform
That's
independent.
platform dependent. Shweta, I think you will do really well in this particular question. So JDBC API used to provide database connectivity between Java application and databases. I think a mistake I was making was I was saying other applications. It's Java and database, Java application and databases. And it defines how to access RDBMS through its interfaces and classes. JDBC API helps us to write Java application that can access tabular data. Okay, so we have to remember tabular data point. Allows Java application to access various other types of databases. Okay, offers platform independent interface between Java application and other RDBMS, and various tasks associated are so and so. Provides two packages. We all are not talking about this SQL and JavaX.SQL. Okay, Ashish, let's go through this. Read it in a way that you can remember it, and then I'm gonna hide it, and then you say those points.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So JDBC API is used to provide the database connectivity between Java applications and other databases. It defines how to access the relationship databases by using some its own interfaces and classes. JDBC API helps us to write a Java application that can access tabular data. JDBC API allows Java application to access various types of databases like Oracle, Sybase, IBM DB2, etc., and SQL Server, obviously. It offers the platform independent interface between the Java application and RDBMS and allows application to execute SQL statements. And various tasks are associated with the database usage, such as establishing connection, uh, creating query, executing the query, getting the result, and modifying the result. Yeah.
Okay,
JDBC provides
now
two packages.
tell me
Yeah.
what you remember.
So JDBC, like Java provides the JDBC APIs through which we can connect to the various types of databases in Java applications. Then we can access the JDBC. Yeah, we can access it also offers the JDBC functionality, which can be accessible by its own interfaces and classes. Then JDB, by using the JDBC, we can get connected to the various database, various relational databases like Oracle DB2, like IBM DB2, Sybase, and SQL Server. Then it also provides the platform independent
Interface.
interfaces which can by using which can like, by which we can get connected to the
Execute queries.
various, yeah, we can get connected to the various database RDBMS and execute the queries. Okay, and
What
the are
packages are available?
packages, it's Java, Java.jdbc and Java X.
No.
DB.
What is what databases do we generally use? Starting with
Like
S.
SQL.
What is yes? The package name is Java dot
SQL.
what?
Okay.
Yes, and
Java.SQL and Java X.SQL. Yeah.
yes. Good. Okay, so it used to provide database connectivity between Java application and various databases. Defines how to access RDBMS through its interfaces and classes, because only through its interface and class you can actually access those methods which will be used to create the connectivity. Helps us to write Java application that can access tabular data. Allows Java application to access various types of databases. Offers platform independent interface. Various tasks are associated database usage to packages. Okay, Kritika, I'm going to say it now and correct me at the end wherever I go wrong. Okay.
Yes.
So JDBC provides database connectivity between the Java applications and various databases. It allows us to access the RDBMS which have tabular data, and they have two packages. These classes interfaces are available in two packages: Java.SQL and Java X.SQL, and it provides the independent platform independent interface between Java
इमरान,
application and other RDBMS to
आपने
execute queries.
packages के बारे में बात की ना, तो just correlate the interfaces and its classes with the same point.
Okay.
We can access
Okay.
the JDBC, interlink हो जाएगा.
Yes, so you can access different RDBMS with the help of its interfaces and classes, and various types of operations associated with this are like creating a database, executing a query, manipulating any data, all of these things. So Kritika, tell me which are the points I missed.
I think you covered all.
Okay, good. I think I missed this one. Allows Java application to access various types of Oracle, MS Access, MSQL. Okay, I think this is good enough. Advantages. No, come on, yaar. We just did so much of JDBC. Again, you come. Provide interface. Yeah. Existing enterprise data. Businesses can use database even if stored on different management systems. Simplified enterprise development. Combination of Java API and JDBC API makes application development easy and cost effective. Zero configuration for network computers. Drivers written in Java, so all the information needed to make the connection defined by JDBC URL or by data source object. Okay. Full access to metadata, provides metadata access that enables development of sophisticated applications. No installation. Does not require any special installation. Yeah, somebody go ahead and read it. Maybe Farhan, are you on the call?
Yes.
Okay, would you like to read this?
ये कुछ ज्यादा नहीं है भाई.
भाई नहीं पढ़ना तो छोड़ दे.
नहीं वो नहीं बोल रहा, ये मतलब इतना याद भी नहीं रह पाएगा मेरे ख्याल. चलिए
तो भाई
पढ़ते
जितना
हैं.
याद रहेगा उतना लिखना, फिर और क्या. अभी
हमको
तो
लगता है
2
सिर्फ
पॉइंट पढ़ेगा,
बोल्ड लेटर वाला ये.
2 पॉइंट अगर पढ़ेगा तो 1 पॉइंट याद रहेगा. 4 पॉइंट पढ़ेगा तो 2 पॉइंट याद रहेगा. बराबर.
भाई आपके तरह मेमोरी नहीं है भाई, आपका मेमोरी काफी सही है.
करते करते हो जाता है, किसी कोई बॉर्न नहीं होता है, it happens with practice. चलो let's
Okay.
try. You want to read?
Okay.
Okay.
First point about the advantage of JDBC are
Mm-hmm.
providing existing enterprise data. Business can continue to use their installed database and access information even if it is stored on different database management system. Second point, simplified enterprise development. The combination of the Java API and JDBC API make the application development easy and cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
Zero configuration for network computer. No configuration is required on the client side. Centralized software maintenance. Driver is written in Java, so all the information needed to make a connection is complete, completely defined by the JDBC URL or by data source object. Data source object is registered with Java naming and directory interface JNDI naming services. Full access to metadata. The underlying facility and capability of a specific database connection need to be understood. The JDBC API provides metadata access that enables the development of sophisticated application. No installation. A pure JDBC technology-based driver does not require a special installation.
Great. So, out of everything that you read, just give me one point that you recall. Just one point.
Metadata and no installation.
Very good. Very good. So that's all we are doing. We don't expect anyone to remember everything just by reading once. We go step by step. So we read once, then we recall. Kitna yaad hai? Ek yaad hai? No worries. We go second time. Again, the number of points you remember would be more. These are all important questions. I think this is the question is part of the assignment, and there are high chances that anything that's in the assignment might come. Okay, so let's Ashish, you want to try now?
Yeah. So it provide the existing enterprise data. Like business can continue to use their installed database and access information even if it is stored in the different database management system. Okay. Simplified enterprise development, like the combination of Java API and JDBC API makes the application development easy and cost effective. Okay. And zero configuration for network computer. No configuration is required on the client side. Centralized software maintenance, like driver is between in like driver is written in the Java, so all the information need to make the connection is completely defined by the JDBC URL or by data source object. The data source object is registered with the Java naming and directory interface JNDI naming service. Like full access to metadata, like the underlying facilities and capabilities of the specific database connections need to be understood. The JDBC API provides metadata access that enables the development of sophisticated application. This point was a little bit tricky to me. Like the underlying facilities and capabilities of the specific database connection need to be
You don't need to remember
understood.
everything.
Yeah.
All you have, see, the key points are highlighted in this. So the key point you have to remember, it provides full access to metadata. How does it help? It enables development of sophisticated application.
Yeah. No installation. A pure JDBC technology based driver does not require special installation.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So it provides existing enterprise. Abhi, I'm going to hide it in a
दो
point.
चीज हम लोग एक साथ दो नहीं तीन चीजें हम लोग एक साथ रट सकते हैं, मतलब याद रख सकते हैं. फर्स्ट वन, लाइक इट
नहीं
प्रोवाइड्स
रट सकते हैं, रहने दो. I like that word because it comes with a lot of feeling. वो अंदर से आ रहा है तो आने दो उसको, ढाको मत. हम रट सकते हैं is the real
not
truth.
right. It's like the way, like the sequence in which we can remember this. और रटना ही हो गया बट ऑफ इट, एक दिन पहले जो करते हैं वो, बट
Of course.
हाँ, we can understand it in this way. Like enterprise में databases अगर दूसरे साइड पे अवेलेबल हो तो भी हम लोग उसको एक्सेस कर सकते हैं. Like it provides existing enterprise data. Okay. And the second is simplified enterprise development. Like उसको कुछ specially, sorry, जो third वाला point है, like zero configuration for the network computer. We don't require any special networking configuration that should be installed on the server because जावा में जो हमने JDBC ड्राइवर्स के फंक्शंस जो भी यूज किए हुए हैं वो ऑटोमेटिकली JDBC URL के थ्रू हम लोग को डेटाबेस एक्सेस दिलवा सकते हैं. सिमिलरली इंस्टॉलेशन भी नहीं करना है, जैसे नेटवर्क कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं करना है वैसे कोई स्पेशली कोई इंस्टॉलेशन भी करवाना नहीं है हमें जैसा है वैसे का वैसे हम लोग उसको यूज कर सकते हैं. तो ये 3 पॉइंट हम लोग एक के बाद एक सीक्वेंस
Correct.
में याद रख सकते
Configuration,
हैं.
installation, correct. And
हाँ,
full access
कॉन्फ़िगरेशन,
to
इंस्टॉलेशन,
metadata.
हाँ, यस. तो
Okay.
ऐसे ऐसे कुछ याद रख सकते हैं एक कंपनी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से समझे तो.
Okay, let me read this once, then I'll hide it, and then you can recall whatever you remember from that. Okay. So, providing existing enterprise data, businesses can use the databases even if stored on different database system. Okay, so businesses can use their own installed databases as well as the ones stored on other database management systems. तो वो दोनों use कर सकते हैं. They can use both. Simplified enterprise development. So combination of Java API and JDBC API. Both API together makes the development easy and cost effective. So first 2 points were one about enterprises. They can only use their own installed databases, but also Ashish, would you like to mute?
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so we're talking about the enterprise. They can not only use the installed databases that they have, but also the ones on another database management system. Two APIs, the Java API and JDBC API together can make the development easy and cost effective. Then, like Ashish said, zero configuration, no installation. So the drivers that are written in Java already have all the information needed for the connection. So there's no special configuration required for that. Again, no installation required. So a pure JDBC technology driver does not require a special installation. And the last point is full access to metadata. So it provides the metadata access that enables development of sophisticated applications. So let me try to recall these. So first point was about the enterprises, which means that enterprises can not only access the um, data from their own database systems, but also the ones that are stored elsewhere. The second point is about making the development and the cost very efficient because the Java API and the JDBC API together make the development of the application and very cost effective as well. Then we talk about the zero configuration and no installation. So JDBC driver does not require a special installation. JDBC driver already has all the information it needs to get the connection, so we don't require a specific configuration for that. And it also provides the metadata for this API. Ashish, you want to go now? Just try to recall whatever you can.
Yeah, so basically we'll think like this, like in the enterprises we can access the locally installed databases and also the remotely installed databases. And the second one is no special configuration, like no network configuration is required, like the zero cost configuration.
Zero configuration, yeah.
Zero configuration, and no special installation is required.
Yeah.
Because no special configuration is required for the for accessing the database. And the fourth one is it also provides, I think,
cost effective and development easy development.
Yes, easy to develop. Yes, easy to
there are
develop.
two APIs, Java API and JDBC API. So
yes,
they
the
together
combination
make the
of both
easy.
can be very easy to develop for the developer.
Correct. Okay, I don't think I would want anyone else to, or there's one more left, but we will look at that. So I don't want anybody else would like to recap because we have done it so many times that I'm pretty sure that you guys will remember at least few points from this. Okay, the last point was database connection identified by URL. Is API includes a way to identify and connect to the data source. This makes code more portable and easy to maintain. Okay, let's move on. So that's done with the JDBC. We have enough information about JDBC we can talk about, even if they give 10 marks a question. And now we talk about the use of the driver manager class in context of JDBC. Did we do that? We just do that, right? No, we did. What is JDBC? We did advantages. Now we are left with JDBC driver manager class, and then finally the program. Okay, Kritika, I'll let you read.
All right. JDBC driver manager class and its use. The JDBC driver manager is a concrete Java class that provides an interface between the user and drivers. JDBC driver can create database connections, but generally the driver manager is used to get the connection. The driver manager dot get connection method is the most commonly used method of this class to establish the database connection.
So this is the method that I was talking about. So remember when we were talking about JDBC, we said that it has different classes and interfaces that allow you to connect to a RDBMS. So those classes or and interfaces have these methods like driver manager. It must be either a class or interface, whatever that is. It has a method called get connection. So with the help of which you can establish a connection.
Right. The JDBC driver manager provides elementary services to maintain JDBC drivers and defines an object that connects the application to the driver.
Mm-hmm.
Driver manager manages the various drivers running on an application. Running on an application.
Yeah. So it manages the drivers. Remember, I spoke about the driver manager manages the drivers and also tracks the drivers. So think about Ola, Uber when you talk about the driver manager. They not only manage driver, but they also track the driver. That's how you can probably remember those 2 points.
It tracks the available drivers and appropriately chooses the one which connects the application with the database. Oh yes, this is a lot like Ola Uber.
That's what I
Provides
said. That's how I remember it because I told myself I'm gonna think about Ola, Uber when you talk when you talk about driver and manager.
yes,
You think about his manager. He's gonna manage them and he's gonna track them.
and also provides an interface between user and drivers. The first point.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Yeah. That's the power of group study. Absolutely. Now I'm
User
not gonna
and
forget this
drivers.
one.
It's a
Yes. Provide
connection,
it.
it's an interface between user and drivers. It's used to get the connection
Mm-hmm.
by using this data driver manager dot get connection.
Correct. One
Okay.
second. 1 second. So we have an app, right? Uber app. So
Yeah.
interface is nothing but your UI, which kind of allows you to uh, connect and perform any operations. So imagine that they are providing an interface like an app or something for the users and drivers to connect. And here on the last point, they're talking about tracking the available drivers and appropriately choosing which one connects the application with the database. So you can think of that if they track which driver is where, only then they will be able to allocate a proper driver to the person. Because without tracking, they wouldn't know that in which area they are supposed to give which customer. Similarly, you can think about that. Now, tracking the driver to make sure which driver will connect to the application with the database. Yeah, go on. You were saying something.
Yes. I was saying you make great stories too.
I'm learning from you. You inspired me.
Okay, this is a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
The class for name method is used to load the driver.
Yeah. I don't know how I'll remember this guy.
Um,
com.mysql. Okay, that is easy. CJ. I don't know how I'll remember CJ. DJ, I can remember DJ. I can remember CJ.
J dot.
JDBC. The driver. Okay, yeah. So recap this for us, Kritika.
Okay, so just like Ola and Uber, it provides an interface between the user and drivers.
Yep.
And the driver manager is used to get the connection. So
Mm-hmm.
user and drivers, then the connection between them, and
Mm-hmm.
then how the driver manager dot get connection method.
Mm-hmm.
So user and driver, the connection between them, the method to get the connection,
Mm-hmm.
and then it provides elementary services to maintain JDBC drivers and defines an object that connects the application to the driver. Okay, basically the app,
Okay.
right? And the driver manager manages the various drivers on running on an application, and it tracks available drivers, appropriately chooses the one. Oh, and then the class for name. The class for name method is used to load the driver. Class for name com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver.
Maybe think of they can load or they can assign the driver by their name. So think of that by the driver name. So think of that. Probably you'll be able to recall this for name.
Okay, so the interface between the user and drivers, then the connection between them, and
Mm-hmm.
then the method used to get the connection, the driver
Mm-hmm.
manager dot connection, and
Mm-hmm.
then we come to the app, which provide the function of the app. It provides elementary services to maintain drivers and assign the correct one, the one which is available.
Mm-hmm.
Track and assign the available one, and then get the name.
Correct. Right
Okay.
without the
Okay. It is a connection between users and the interface.
no, no,
Uh,
no. It provides an interface. It provides the app. So think about providing the app. So providing an interface between user and the drivers.
Between user and the drivers. Um, then it creates it creates the connection between them, which
Mm-hmm.
is and the method used for in getting the connection is driver manager dot get connection.
Yes.
Then you come to the app in which the it provides services to the drivers
To
and
maintain the drivers.
to maintain the drivers,
Yeah.
and it tracks the available drivers and assigns it to the one who is available, which is available
For the database connection.
for the database connection.
And also
Yes,
manages the drivers.
and manages the drivers. And
Yes.
then
No. What's to do
class
with the name?
for name,
Mm-hmm.
com.sql
Mm-hmm.
dot cj
Yeah.
dot jdbc dot I
Driver
don't know.
C. I think driver maybe. I'm not even sure. But yeah,
Right.
class dot for name is used to load the driver because without knowing the name, we can't load the driver. So think about that. So we have to
Yeah.
know the driver's name. So class dot for name is used to load the driver. So
Mm-hmm.
so even when you'll see the program in a moment, these things will be clear to you. So basically, unless you load the driver, you can't really get a connection. You have to load the driver first. So using for name. Okay, interface between user and driver. This is what I said. Just
Mm-hmm.
first think about the app and think about the interface of that app. So main job of this JDBC driver manager is to that it provides the interface. Because interface अगर होगा ही नहीं तो कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. Nothing will start. If you don't have an app, you can't communicate. वो किसको manage करे क्या करेगा बिना app ही नहीं होगी तो. इसलिए you have to have internet. That's the first thing. You have to have interface. So it provides an interface between user and driver. Then it can create database connection, but driver managers used to get the connection to establish database connection, provides elementary services. Think of elementary schools, elementary services to maintain JDBC drivers, defines object that connects the application, manages the drivers, tracks available drivers, appropriately chooses the right one which connects the application with the database. Class.forName used to load the driver. Class.forName, you can pass the value com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. Cool. This is the program example of the driver manager class. Public class driver manager example. This you can name it whatever you want. Main story starts from here. So instantiate the driver. So this resides in com.mysql.jdbc. which is what we saw here, com.mysql .jdbc.driver. You hold that in the driver, then you say driver manager dot register driver, you register that driver, and then you go ahead and say that driver registered. So this is only to do with registering the driver. This is not creating a connection here. At this point, it's only registered. You will see another program where all of these things will be clear to you. Let me get that up for you. Hold on. This should be one. This is batch processing. I think this could be it. No, this is batch processing. Yeah, we have it here. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. So see, loading. This is what we spoke about. We're going to load it. Class.forName is going to load the driver first. Then you get the connection. Okay. This is another example of batch processing, but you can't execute queries unless you connect with the database, right? So you can just focus right now only in this part, that how to get the connection. So remember when we were discussing JDBC, we said that it's available in the SQL package. So that's why we're importing java.sql. So you import java.sql, you load it using class.forName, and then you create a connection using get connection, driver manager.get connection. Hold that connection using connect. You can auto commit, you can create statement, you can close the connection. So all to do with the connection. I hope this is much clearer to you now.
Yes.
Cool. The whole story about JDBC. Okay, now we come to multi-threading. So multi-threading, there are multiple threads that communicate with each other in a program. Now, in order to ensure that simultaneously, actually, in order to ensure one of the threads don't end up writing while the other thread is reading it, there is a concept called locking also, I think. Did we Sumaya, did we study locking in Java, or am I remembering it from somewhere else?
Yes, we have locking. Each object
Have locking.
has a
Monitor, yes.
that can be locked or unlocked.
Okay. So what were the points about multi-threading? Do you remember? So
For
thread is a
concurrent
lightweight
execution.
process within a program, right? That was
Yes.
thread. What are the other points about multi-threading besides one I just said? Because I don't want to end up talking about locking here because it's asking multi-threading. I don't want to talk about the problems. I remember now. I think in the thread model you spoke about different states, which were new, and then ready, and then running, blocked, and there was waiting.
And the
And there was,
thread model has three parts: the
yes.
CPU, data, and code.
Okay. CPU, data, and code. All right. Let's take a look at that. Multi-threading, in my opinion, might come. तुम लोग बोलोगे हर चीज को बोलता है कि आएगा करके. What are we supposed to skip?
Judging from today's paper and the other paper, skip nothing.
Yeah. It's nothing, right?
Yeah.
Multi-threading is a Java feature that allows concurrent execution of two or more parts of the program for maximum utilization of CPU. I think we should make this dark blue because I don't think that we remembered a lot from this one. Yeah, there you go. Each part of the program is thread. So threads are lightweight processes within a process. So process within a process. How can I forget this? We created a thread. You could have easily used that point here. Remember in the previous session, we created a thread, we set its priority, and I said that in order for you to create a thread, you're supposed to either extend
Extends.
the thread class or you have to implement the runnable interface. And we did it with a runnable one. So multi-threading system in Java is built upon thread class, its methods, and its companion interface runnable. So two things that form multi-threading system. One is thread class and second is the runnable. To create a new thread, your program will either extend the thread class or implement the runnable interface. The thread class defines several methods that helps managing the thread. Like for example, get name will get thread dot thread dot current thread dot get name will get you the name of the thread, and then there are methods to set the priority and stuff, which is thread dot set priority. Yeah, so all those methods basically. This is the thread model, but we'll go through this first. So Farhan, do you want to read this? Is Farhan still there or left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, multi-threading in Java feature that allow concurrent execution of two or more parts of a program for maximum utilization of CPU.
Mhm.
And each part of such program is called a thread. So thread are lightweight process within a process.
Mhm.
The multi-threading system in Java is built upon the thread class, its method, and its companion interface runnable. To create a new thread, your program will either extend thread class or implement the runnable interface. The thread class defines several methods that help in managing thread.
Okay. So I'm gonna hide this and tell me just one point that you remember from this.
I remember nothing. Just read it.
Sorry. Sorry.
मुझे मैंने सिर्फ पढ़ दिया है भाई मुझे कुछ याद नहीं
कोई बात नहीं. No problem. That's completely fine. Okay, Ashish. Ashish there or left? Okay, Kritika.
Yes. Okay. After this point, right? Runnable interface. We can in the multi if for multi-threading we can extend the we can extend using the runnable interface in
Hold on,
which
hold on, hold on. There are two things, right, in the multi-thread system. What are those two things? First, tell me that. Let's do it this way.
first there are multiple threads and
Hmm.
so like when different programs are running at the same time,
Hmm.
um, it allows for
Concurrent
the
execution.
concurrent execution of programs. The CPUs use this the utilization
Why
of
do we do
CPU.
this? Why do
um,
we concurrently execute the program?
so the CPU is used to its full capacity
Correct, correct. So for maximum utilization of CPU. Okay.
for
So
maximum utilization.
first thing is what it is. So it's basically multiple simultaneous execution of multiple programs. Why do we do this? So that the CPU can be utilized at the maximum power. Imagine if I tell you right now that you can only open the slide, but you can't open StreamYard and you can't share that. Imagine what will happen. I have got CPU with superpowers, Apple, everything. It's got so much of power, so much of space, or so much of capacity, but it can't do that. There's no point, right? I'm not making full utilization of my CPU. I spend like 2 lakh rupees to purchase this, and I'm not able to do that. So that is why we have to make sure that we take the maximum advantages of our CPU by utilizing it at its maximum potential. So that is why the multi-threading or running multiple programs at the same time is important. So at this point in time there are multiple programs running. There is a StreamYard running, then there is my mic is connected, so that is input output program is running. plus my slides are open. So this is all the multiple programs that are running simultaneously. I'm talking to you while I'm moving my mouse, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so that's your multi-threading now, and why we do it, we already discussed that. Now, how do we so what is a thread? Now, if you go into the detail of it, what is a thread? Thread is basically a lightweight process within a process. Okay, and how do we implement it? How do we create a thread basically? So this multi-threading system has two things, so you have to remember that: thread class and runnable interface. There's a difference between class and interface. We've established that earlier in Java. You can
Yeah.
only extend the class, you can't implement a class. The implementation is done for interface. Remember when we were doing difference between a class and interface? You can only extend, you can make a child class, but you cannot implement a class. You can implement an interface. Okay, so that's why you can extend thread class because it's a class. That's why you can extend it, and you can implement runnable class. Runnable interface because it's an interface. Okay, so now you go ahead and tell me quickly, just the recap.
Multi-threading is the simultaneous running of two or more programs, and we do it to make a full utilization of the CPU.
Yep, I would say
And
maximum because we may not be
max,
able to fully utilize maximum. Yeah.
yes, yes, okay, and after that, a thread is a lightweight program, and
Mhm.
it's basically
It's a
it's a
process
lightweight.
within a process.
It's a
Lightweight process within a process.
it's a process within a process,
Yeah,
and simultaneous threads can multiple threads can run simultaneously, and
correct.
yes, and then there's a thread class, and there is a runnable interface.
Perfect.
So uh, we can a class can be instantiated, but it cannot be implemented,
Correct.
while the runnable class can be implemented. um,
Right.
runnable
Yeah.
interface runnable interface can be implemented.
So in
So
this situation, we are not really instantiating a thread class. Actually, we are, but we're talking about extension. So we're saying
extension.
that a thread, you can create a thread by either extending the thread class or implementing runnable interface. I think we've discussed enough. We can move on.
Yes, yes.
And one more thing is there are different methods available in this class that you can use and perform different operations on thread. So now let's talk about the thread model, which Sumaya is going to take us through.
A thread in Java has three components: CPU. The thread class is designed to encapsulate the virtual
Can
CPU
you,
in it.
sorry to interrupt you, can you read the question also? Because
Okay.
many times how they twisted stuff there in our today's exam, they said, I'm going to give you a minimum cost spanning tree. And till the end, I was not sure whatever I wrote was correct or not. But I said, okay, maybe they've twisted the question. It's about that algorithm that we have to write. So yeah,
I
so make
thought
sure to,
so
yeah.
too. I thought I'll write both Pascal and Prims because I've learned both.
If you had
I
time,
wrote
then yes,
both.
you could get.
Oh, you did?
So, so maybe you're gonna get 20 marks out of 10 for writing extra. That's why Sumaya was still sitting when I already left. She was still sitting and writing. I know what she was doing now. She was writing that extra algorithm. Okay, carry on. Let's read the question first.
Explain Java thread model with the help of a diagram.
Okay.
A
How
thread
much
in
help we
Java
need?
has three components.
Mhm.
CPU thread class is designed to encapsulate the virtual CPU in it. When a
Mhm.
thread is constructed, the code and the data that define the thread specified by the object are passed to the constructor of the thread class.
Mhm.
Data may or may not be shared by multiple threads.
Okay.
Code is shared by multiple threads independent of data. A thread can be in various states: new, ready, running, blocked, and dead.
Okay. So Sumaya, I know you are a teacher. So when you teach your students, sometimes you create diagrams and make them explain to them complex uh, concepts. Can you just take
Yeah.
a word and just draw this, and maybe just to give you some ideas, um, just create a thread and say when it's constructed, then data is getting, so put an arrow and move that data to the constructor, something like that. Just give us something visual to remember, so that it's easier tomorrow to just write. So
Okay, I'll try.
yeah, I'll stop the share. You can share your screen, and that way we'll also get some break in talking, because we've been talking for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. Ashish, where did this guy go, man? Sajjan, why does he disappears every time? Ashish is here, but I don't know. He's not speaking. He wrote something like time, and then he went. He'll be back after some time. Oh, okay. So I think he's gone somewhere. How is it designed? Encapsulate virtual CPU unit. Encapsulate virtual CPU unit.
It's taking forever to load.
What?
The whiteboard is taking a long time to load.
Okay.
It's always slow when we're streaming.
Yeah. Looks like your CPU is reached its maximum potential
Yeah.
with multi-threading.
Okay, so thread has three components.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the virtual CPU and the code and the data.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think it's encapsulates, right? Designed to encapsulate the virtual CPU.
yes, but what does that mean? I didn't understand.
That's okay. Just explain to us whatever you think it means, and it's fine. The idea is just to remember those pictures and be able to recall tomorrow the content of it. Yeah,
Okay,
just maybe
so
create a box and put
yeah,
CPU, uh, data, and
so
code.
this it encapsulates the virtual CPU,
Put
data.
p dot CPU, so we know it's virtual.
Okay.
Kritika is good at making stories, so I give her that task, and Sumaya is good with making diagrams, so she's doing that.
The data and the code. So when
Mm-hmm.
we are creating a thread, then we
Mm-hmm.
have to construct a thread object,
Mm-hmm.
and to the thread object we pass the data and the code. We pass the data and the code to the constructor of the thread object.
Constructor of the thread class, you mean? Huh?
Yes, the thread class.
Maybe make constructor function there, so we know it's going to the constructor. You can wrap it inside of a thread class,
Like
and then
this,
thread. Oh, like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
like a
Data and code.
constructor.
Yeah, new. So the new thread.
Okay.
So thread class is designed to encapsulate virtual CPU in it. When a thread is constructed, I guess they're saying when a thread is instantiated, thread class instantiated, which means the thread object is created. Then code and data that define the thread specified by the object are passed to the constructor of the thread class. Okay, so data and code are passed to the constructor of the thread class. Fine. Data may or may not be shared by multiple threads, and code shared by multiple threads independent of data. Fine, let's leave that. It's good enough.
Okay.
So I saying, what a relief. It was so hard. Okay, excellent. Moving on. So I'm going to hide this and try to remember. So based on the diagram Sumaya had made, so a thread model has three parts. One is the CPU, second is data, and third is the okay, data and what was that? A third one. What was the third one?
Code.
Code. Yes, code. And you should have made something like code, like angle brackets, so I can remember.
She
You just
did
write.
code.
She did. She made angle brackets there.
No, I just wrote code.
If you just write text, even these guys, even this is text, right? Anyways, I'm not trying to blame you, but it's okay. I'm just trying to find an excuse for me not remembering it. Okay. So yeah, so data, code, and of course CPU. And CPU, so thread class provides an encapsulation of the virtual CPU. And when a thread is created, which means a thread class is instantiated and a thread object is created, both data and code is passed to the constructor of the thread class. Data can be shared or cannot be shared. Data can be shared, right? Correct me, Sumaya. What is it?
Data may or may not be shared.
May or may not be shared. Okay. So data may or may not be shared with multiple threads, because when the data is going to that constructor, now that constructor will provide access to the other threads for that data. So it may or may not be shared. It's not necessary. And for the code, so what about code? Is it shared or not shared? Code is shared.
Code can
Yes,
be
it-
shared. Think logically, like with
Uh-huh.
data.
Okay.
The data, like on the same set of data, you can run a lot of different codes, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's why data can be shared.
Okay.
And code and it's similar for code as well. So if you write the code, you don't
Mm-hmm.
care about the data, and so it's independent of data. So it's just the code.
So it can be shared. So code can be shared and data may or may not be shared with the multi-threads. Okay, cool. And then there are different states of the thread, which is start, ready, blocked, running, dead, which I think we can explain easily. We don't have to really spend time on that. Thread is a new, okay, new ready to run is a new when it gets CPU time. CPU gets a lot allocated to this running state, suspended, blocked, terminated. Okay, moving on. We spent good enough time on this multi-threading. Abstract class. Abstract classes are those classes which have abstract keyword, and abstract class can have abstract methods, default methods. I think they can have static methods also, right? And when the abstract classes are so are the abstract classes extended or implemented?
yes, abstract classes are extended.
extended. So when you create a child class of that, you have to implement all of its abstract methods. Whatever methods have been declared as abstract, you have to implement them. Implement in the sense you have to write the body of it. So whatever abstract method is present in the abstract class, they are just declared, but they don't have the body. So when in the child class, you have to write the body and make it do something, whatever it's supposed to do. And inside of the abstract class, the abstract methods don't have the body. It's just declared. Explain the advantages. I think advantages were data encapsulation. What else was there for abstract classes? I think code reusability.
They provide a way to organize the program.
Yeah, way to organize. And then we did something with the organization and then grouping. Yeah, I remember we kind of connected those two statements. Organizing the program. Uh, there was some word
Grouping
through which,
related classes as siblings.
yes, group related classes as siblings. What else was there?
Flexibility. They can have
Okay,
both abstract and concrete methods.
okay, okay, awesome. Let's take a look at them. It's like 10 marks question. Definitely should look at them. So, mm, you should start with the blue slides in the morning, in my opinion. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, over here, I thought of the same thing, that it's a 10-mark question, and when I read the slides, I felt like it was effectively just 2 points,
No, there
organization
are
and
more.
flexibility. So I added a few more points, like
That's good.
just
That's good.
if you want to like have a look.
So we did this. We did this. Can have, may or may not, can have abstract and non-abstract methods, right? And need to be extended, implemented. We spoke about this. Cannot be instantiated. Yeah, we forgot this. Cannot be instantiated. We can only extend it. It can have constructors, static methods also. Yeah, that was right. And it can have final methods also. Okay, moving on. This is where we spoke about grouping helps in organization, and then we spoke about like abstract class helps organize. That was the linking I think we did last time. So grouping classes together is important, keeping the program organized and understandable. And abstract classes are a way of organizing a program. So Kritika, how do I remember? Of course, I remember these points. The problem is I couldn't recall to connect it with the abstract class. Like the moment Somaya said grouping, I kind of remembered, the other parts. So how do I kind of connect these two so that I remember it?
Yeah, that happens with me too. I don't know. I think the way to do is like revise 10 times. Just look at the question and then think about it. Yeah, I don't have a way to do that.
Okay.
I mean, even I mess up at that. So
You know
yes,
what? You know what I do when I ask you questions like these?
yeah,
I'm actually doing rubber ducking. You know what rubber duck is, right?
yes. So you'll find something because you're
Yes.
asking me.
On
It's
the way.
not
Yes.
because you want. You're basically calling me useless.
No,
You're
no,
basically
no.
calling
That's
me rubber
that's
duck,
not
not
what I meant.
nice.
That's not what I meant. That's not.
No,
It's like killing
I
two
know, I know.
birds
I'm
with
just
one stone.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's like if you were able to find solution, great. If not, at least I might be able to think of something. So yeah, I just rubber ducked you. Okay, so going back, let me see. Abstract class with a grouping. What's the meaning, or like literal meaning of abstract? I know that I've seen abstract images, landscapes. What the heck is abstract actually? Existing in thoughts or idea, but not having physical concrete
Remember
exist.
abstract nouns.
Yeah,
No,
it's just like
basically.
it's just like abstract is like meaning of the abstract is specifically towards the languages. Just like assume an example. Okay, the pointer is an abstract database for C
Hmm.
because it is supported by C. Okay, physically it doesn't exist in every OS. Sorry, in every programming language. Like Java doesn't support pointers,
Hmm.
but still you can implement it. So it's a concept. It's not a physically available.
Okay.
There is, yeah, the meaning of abstract is that like it's
Okay.
not, there is no physical existence of anything. It's just a conceptual thing which differs in every programming language or every other concept.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like let's say for loop, you see the for loop implementation of for loop is different in C, implementation of for is different in C++, in Java, and in Python. So like that.
Yes. Yes. Right. Cool. That means we can't group those guys in and say that they exist everywhere. Implementation is separate, and they don't actually exist. It's like, okay, fine. So grouping classes together is important in keeping the program organized and understandable. Abstract classes are a way of organizing a program. Uh, Advantage is that you can group several classes together as siblings. So first we talk about what's the benefit of grouping. It keeps the program organized. Then we say that abstract class help us do that, help us do this by doing that. So we kind of breaking this same statement into two parts with the help of abstract class. So we say grouping helps us keep the program organized, and we're saying abstract class helps us organize the program by grouping. So it's saying you can group several classes together as siblings. Then flexibility, which Sumaya said, that abstract classes provide you the flexibility to have certain concrete methods and some abstract methods that derived classes should implement. Kritika, read all of this that you've written.
Abstract class in Java is highly beneficial in writing shorter codes.
Mm.
Um, it avoids code duplication. It enables
Okay.
code reusability, and
Hmm.
it changes to internal load implementation are done without affecting the classes.
Yeah. Cool.
It's kind of the same thing. We know what it is, but it's just in different points. So,
Yeah, yeah. Of
no,
course,
because
of
it's a
course.
10 marks question, yes.
I want somebody to recap this. Who wants to take it? Who's confident?
I'll do it.
Okay.
The first point is code. The first point is it helps in grouping and
Mm-hmm.
organizing the code. Um, the next thing is is flexibility. So it allows more flexibility because you can use the same classes as before.
Mm-hmm.
A grouping, organizing, and flexibility. So
Mm-hmm.
because we group it, it organizes the program,
Okay.
and then it writes shorter codes, avoids code duplication, enables reusability, and all of
Yeah.
it is done without affecting the classes.
Great. So grouping helps us organize the code. Grouping helps us in organization, and abstract class helps us organize the code. And the advantage of using abstract classes is that it allows us to group the classes as siblings. And as you mentioned, that it provides flexibility of using some concrete methods and some abstract methods, right? And it offers code reusability, avoid duplication, write shorter codes. I think it helps you do the unit testing also easily. Okay. Cool. Don't forget the encapsulation and all that. Huh? That might also come in exam. You never know these guys. Now that I don't trust them. Okay, good. So we're going pretty slow, but it's okay. It's best to know a few topics thoroughly than not be able to recall tomorrow. So it's okay if we spend a little bit more time. But let's keep a target of finishing it off at around 12. We have like 25 minutes. Explain the use of the following classes in Java program with the in Java programming with the help of an example. So date class is used to perform the operations related to date and time. With the help of the date class, you can basically get the current time. You can provide your own timestamp in milliseconds and get your own date and time as well. You can get a day, month, year. You can perform operations such as compare two dates as well. Then you have list. Okay, so first we look at the program. We won't do the program because we don't have that much of time right now, but we look at the program of the date. Use of date class. Java supports creating, modifying date and time using primarily two packages. One is java.time and java.util. The package java.time was part of Java 8 release, and that introduced the new immutable class. Which was the immutable class we discussed difference between one was mutable and second was an immutable? Was it thread buffer, right?
String and string buffer.
Oh yeah, string buffer. I'm mixing up now. Okay. New immutable class solving the shortcomings of legacy java.util date. I think I did I assign this to someone to write the use case of this or no?
For list, you assigned it to me. I wrote some points.
Okay, Kritika, can you at least write some of the use cases? It doesn't look like there are too many use cases here for date.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's saying use of. It's a 5 marks question. I don't think we'll write just 2 points there.
Okay.
So yeah, so java.time and java.util package, these are two packages that help us do that. And these are the constructor. This is a constructor. This is also the same constructor, but it takes a parameter. You can get if the current date is after given date, if current date is before the given date, and clone the date object, compare to current date with the given date, equals, check two dates are equal or not, get time, set time, all of those things. So now the program. So we'll import the java.util.date, new date, print that date, get the time, print it, create another date object, but this time pass your milliseconds, get the time, compare both using compare to. If one is greater than the other, if the result is 0, which means both dates are same. If the result equals 1, then the first one is later than the second one. Otherwise, the first one is earlier than the second one. Yeah, so that's that. See, we've been studying since almost 7:30, but there's just so much to cover. Okay, then we do list. So Mia, tell me what do you remember about the lists actually?
So list is an interface.
Okay.
And it has methods. So it's an ordered list of items, and it has methods to add, delete, update an item, uh, and it can contain null values, and it can also contain duplicate values, unlike sets.
Like what?
Unlike sets. So sets can't contain duplicate values. A list can contain duplicate values.
Okay.
And it's part of the collection framework, I think.
Search list interface.
Okay. Yep. Thanks. I'll let Ashish read this.
Yeah, so list interface extends the collection interface, and hence it compromises all the methods available in collection interface.
Okay.
Mhm. It is used to manage the ordered collection of object. Manage the ordered collection of object. Okay.
Okay.
List preserves the insertion order and allows the duplicate values to be stored. This preserves the insertion order and allows the duplicate values. Okay. Elements can be accessed by referring to their position in the list with zero based index, just like an array.
Okay.
Okay. This interface compromises different methods that enable easy manipulation of elements based on the element index. Okay. Enables easy
Listen,
manipulation of elements.
right now, if we get to a slide where
Mhm.
I have to write a code, don't let me do that
Yeah. Okay.
because I just ate a bug.
Hmm.
So I might not write it properly.
You ate the bug?
I ate a bug. I was yawning
Seriously?
and a bug came and I ate it. But that was a
You
joke. If I write a program, I'll create
you
bugs.
know this time at this time we are almost sleeping. Everybody is sleeping
I'm trying to
almost.
wake everybody up. Come on. Oh God. Okay,
Seriously.
carry on.
This interface comprises this interface comprises different methods that enable easy manipulation of element based on the element index.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Various methods defined by list interface are add all, get, index of, iterator. Wow, this is very difficult and hard to remember.
Mm-hmm.
The list interface is implemented by vector, array list, and linked list classes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You might want to read again and then try to remember.
Yeah. So should I?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. List interface extends the collection interface, and hence it comprises all the methods available in collection interface. It is used to manage the ordered collection of object. So list preserves the insertion order and allows duplicate values to be stored. Elements can be accessed by referring to their position in the list with zero base index. This interface comprises different methods that enables easy manipulation of elements based on element index. Various methods defined by list interface are add all, get, index of, iterator. The list interface is implemented by vector, array list, and linked list classes.
Okay. Tell me.
Okay, So the first thing is list interface extends the collection interface. Hence,
Okay.
all the classes of the collection interface can be accessible. Second is list interface is used to manage the ordered objects.
Ordered
Third
items,
point,
I think.
okay, ordered item set, like that.
I'm not sure if it's set, but yeah, it's
I think
ordered
it's
ordered
ordered
list of
object,
items.
ordered set of object.
Let's
I think.
take a
Sorry,
look at it. Let's not guess.
yeah,
Manage the
ordered
ordered
collection
collection
of
of
object.
objects. Yeah.
Yeah, manage the order collection of object. So it manages the ordered collection of object. And the third thing is uh, it order
Reserves.
collection it preserves the insertion like insertion order, inserting an order, and also allows duplicating the value. Okay,
Correct.
then the data can be accessible just by the
Index.
position. Yes,
Yeah.
position index number with the
Mm-hmm.
zero index, with the starting with the zero index.
Mm-hmm.
And there
What are the
are
methods?
methods. Yes, there are different methods that has been supported by this interface. The first one is add all, then
Iterator. Is
iterator. Yeah, that's
remember Nitin sir taught us iterator in Java. No, not in Java, in Python.
in याद तो नहीं
Yeah.
है.
There was something called iterator in Python.
Okay.
And then index of.
Index of something, and position का भी कुछ एक फंक्शन था लिखा हुआ
और
था,
एक
पता नहीं.
कुछ इंटरफेसेस के बारे में भी था ना, वेक्टर इंटरफेस क्या था वो?
हाँ. फिर था list interface is implemented by using the vector, array list and linked list classes.
Okay, okay.
इतने पॉइंट्स याद है.
Excellent, very good. I'm gonna mark this slide as dark blue because we need probably tomorrow times to. So my suggestion is like don't spend too much time on things you're confident. Just start with the dark blue slides and then make your way through the easy ones. Because just too many to look at. Kritika, you still alive?
Yes, I feel like other subjects I still knew something. Java is the one I am least prepared for. I mean, even yesterday I did feel like, okay, ये तो पता है, ये तो पता है, ये तो हो जाएगा. This time, I
Did
don't know.
you?
I
So the problem with the Java, look at the question paper. Look at how many questions are. Just look at it,
yes.
right? You saw today's question paper and hardly any questions.
Yes.
देख
One, two,
इमरान,
three,
सबसे पहली
four,
बात तो ये है कि
5,
उन्होंने
6,
5
7,
मार्क्स के लिए जो
8,
क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं ना, दैट एक्चुअली बिलोंग्स टू 10 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन.
correct. सिर्फ कुछ कुल मिला के 10 questions हैं बट आज के पेपर में. And look
हाँ
at
बस.
this. 1, 2, and one, like there are 3 parts to a question. It's not like just one sentence.
2 मार्क्स के लिए
1,
तुम
2,
कितना
3,
लिखोगे? 4
4,
4 लाइन.
5, 6. Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What the heck?
Do you
Anyways,
feel confident? Do you feel confident with Java? Is it like other subjects for you?
if you ask me, inshallah, will I pass? Then yes. If you ask me, will I score well? I feel I might be able to score well, but based on the kind of paper they are setting, of course, with Java, I'm more confident as compared to other subjects, but I don't have confidence on these IGNU guys because the way they are setting papers. The only reason why I'm confident with Java is because there are a lot of questions, not only in the question paper, but take a look at the assignment. It's just so many questions, and this is a combination of both. So you see the 1 star means ideally this should have been 2 stars because they're in both places. Yeah. So this is a combination of that. That's why there's so many. Because assignment also is too many questions, just too many questions. Anyways, let's wrap it up quickly. We have got like 10 minutes.
Yes. Should I recap or read?
Read.
Read, okay. List interface extends the collection interface, and hence it comprises all the methods available in collection interface.
Mm-hmm.
It is used to manage the ordered collection of objects.
Mm-hmm.
This preserves the insertion order and allows duplicate values to be stored.
Mm-hmm.
Elements can be accessed by referring to their position in the list with zero-based index. This interface comprises different methods that enable easy manipulation of elements based on the element index.
Okay.
Various methods defined by list interface are add all, get, index of, iterator. The list interface is implemented by vector, array list, and linked list classes.
Okay. Let's see what's left. So we have Java FX and JDBC batch processing. Okay, so let's do them. We'll keep 5 minutes for Java FX and 5 minutes for the other one.
If you don't mind, I can read.
Sure. So the question is Java FX and its features. Go on.
Okay. So Java FX is a Java library used to develop desktop application as well as rich internet application RIA. Wow. The application built in Java FX can run on multiple platforms including web, mobile and desktop. अरे एक कुछ एग्जांपल बता ना जावा एफएक्स का कोई वीएलसी ऐसा कुछ कोई है एग्जांपल दिमाग में?
मैंने कुछ बनाया नहीं Java FX में.
Okay, fine. Let's go ahead. Java FX is intended to replace Swing in Java application as a GUI framework. Okay, fine. However, it provides more functionality than wow, provides more functionalities than Swing. Mhm.
Yeah, I think one other thing I
It's a
remember about this
package.
is that it's a it's a library.
It's a library.
It's platform independent. It works on multiple operating systems. So when they ask you about Java FX, think about everything to do with the mobile app. What are the benefits? It can be used on both
Uh-huh.
mobile, web, desktop applications. There is
Okay.
another library called Swing also. So all they're saying is this
Yeah.
is better than the Swing.
No, I don't think so. Let's see. Like Swing, JavaFX also provides its own components and doesn't depend upon the operating system. It is lightweighted and hardware accelerated. It supports various operating systems, including Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Web pages can be embedded with JavaFX application. Okay, JavaFX code can be embedded with the CSS to improve the style of the application. Okay.
Okay, read it
Hmm.
again.
JavaFX is a Java library used to develop the desktop application as well as a rich internet application RIA. Okay, RIA. The applications built in JavaFX can run on multiple platforms like mobile, tablet, and desktops. Yeah, wait. JavaFX is intended to replace the Swing in Java application as a GUI framework. Wow.
GUI
GUI
framework.
framework.
Sorry, it's not GUI, it's
GUI.
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 Sumaya, are you not going to correct me?
GUI.
Ashish is going to run
Why
something incorrect.
GUI
Will you
na?
not stop me?
Nah. GUI.
You let me spoil him?
You know, in my language, GUI means something else.
Okay. Fine. If we had the time, we'd love to hear. But let's move on.
So, however, it provides more functionality than Swing. Wow, ये याद रहेगा मेरे को. Like Swing, JavaFX also provides its own components and doesn't depend upon the operating system. So it is lightweighted and hardware accelerated.
लेकिन आशीष तो हर पॉइंट पे वाव बोलेगा तो कल को मैं 4 पॉइंट पे वाव लिख के आऊंगा. पॉइंट मुझे कुछ नहीं याद रहेगा. मेरे को सिर्फ वाव याद रहेगा.
ठीक है. एटलीस्ट कम से कम वो बहाने से पॉइंट कहीं मुझे याद आ गया तो वाओ, दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड थिंग.
पॉइंट भूल जाऊंगा मैं, वाव उसके ऊपर. Carry on.
It supports various operating systems, including Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And web pages can be embedded with JavaFX application, and JavaFX code can be embedded with the CSS to improve the style of application. Yeah.
Okay, so give me a recap.
Java application is used to develop the desktop applications. Also, the RIA, that is rich internet application.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then Java application, sorry, Java FX. Uh,
Can it
it,
run on all the platforms or
yeah,
not?
it is platform independent. Like it can run on different operating systems.
Like
Yeah,
what?
different
Like what
platforms like
platforms?
mobile,
Yes.
desktop, and let's say
Web.
web. हाँ.
Okay.
Then Java FX में
Tell me
UI.
about
Yeah,
softwares.
software. हाँ, OS की बात कर रहे हो? It
Yes.
runs on different OS like
Yes.
uh,
Yes. I'm giving you a hint
Windows,
to just.
Linux and Mac OS. Like दोनों पंच को हम लोग combine करके आगे पीछे लिख सकते हैं. फिर आते
Mhm.
हैं GUI पे, like it is intended to be like it is intended to replace the swing
Yeah.
for
Wow.
GUI development.
Wow.
बरोबर. And it provides far better functionality than
Swing.
swing. Yes.
Okay.
फिर it can be used like, by using JavaFX we can embed the web pages. Okay. And on the JavaFX pages we can embed CSS to improve uh, the user interface of that page.
Okay. Tell me about the components part. There was a point about components.
JavaFX के components
It's
नहीं है.
got more
Sorry.
components in Swing.
Yeah, it got more components than Swing.
Yep.
It provides the separate. Yeah, it provides the individual
Own
components,
components.
just like individual components that can run, like that can be run on different operating systems, and it's a lightweight and क्या था वो hardware accelerate वाला. Hardware accelerated. Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
Lightweight.
Let's move on quickly to the next topic and then we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
JDBC batch processing. So JDBC batch processing is to do with batching the queries. Rather than executing one query at a time, if we have like we already have 10 queries, we can batch them together and execute them all at once. देखो मैंने वो याद है वो एग्जांपल दिया था कि मॉम ने देखो बोला धनिया लेके आ,
हाँ
फिर बोला
हाँ.
मिर्चा लेके आ, तो
तो एक
सारा
सब
एक
लिस्ट
साथ
बना के
बोल दो ना
जाएंगे.
एक ही बार घड़ी घड़ी भेज रहे हो उतने एक टाइम में तू ज्यादा सामान लेके आ सकता ना in less. So
Yes, yes,
so it's
yes.
more efficient. You will save time. You don't have to communicate with the database every now and then. And now it
Yeah.
talks about the program. So वो part तो तू explain कर लेगा. Main इसका program है. That's the hard part. JDBC
Batch.
batch processing. So I'll just do batch processing. Spelling भूल गया. Okay.
Yes.
So instead of executing single query, we can execute a batch of queries, makes performance fast. Because when one sends multiple statements at once to database, communication overhead means cost. Communication cost is reduced significantly as one is not communicating with the database frequently, which turns to fast performance. The Java SQL statement and Java SQL prepared statement interfaces provide methods for batch processing. So let's go to that program. I already shown you this one a while ago where I gave you example of the driver manager. And remember we spoke about the class for name which is used to load the driver. This is to get the connection. Then we set the auto commit to false. And then we basically import the java.sql because remember the manager is in the JDBC is actually in the java.sql package. Here we create statement using the connection object. Then we add the batch. You can add as many as you want. You can put any query you want here. We execute the batch. So everything that's added to this batch, this statement is going to execute it all at once. Then you commit it, and then you close the connection. So you close the connection, and we also close our today's connection, and we end this here. And have a good night, everyone. All the best.
Thank you, Buddha.
All the best, everyone.
Thank you all the
All the
best.
best.
Bye
Take care,
bye.
All
everyone.
the
Good night.
best.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Good night.